What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to hashtag Good Brother, hashtag Brother Me Softly. He is a championship level and caliber fighter, a trainer of fighters. I mean, an athlete all of his life. He is main event, Matty Spencer. Matt, how are you?
Live on your podcast. What's happening?
Bro, it's been a long time coming, but it's been a while, bro. So, like, how are you? How's life?
Life is good. Life is good. Cannot complain. Work, hustling, doing my thing.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I know you from the fight sports kind of community, right? So I kind of want to get into the origin stories because I mean, you and I we've talked and your background in athletics and football and what have you, but like, how does a let's say not so much a main event Maddie Spencer, but let's just say a curtain jerkin, Maddie Spencer
The old
start out
school.
100%. So, I mean, athletics.
I'm sure you cut out on the question.
Oh, how did you get into athletics?
Oh, athletics that was just part of the family. You know what I mean? Growing up in LA back in the '80s, all we did was play. You go outside, play around, play football. So growing up, my dad was a football coach. My older brother played football. So of course, I played football.
And I mean, did you get to like basically get to the echelons that you wanted to get to in football? Like, well, I mean, what was the goal? Just to kind of get yourself, out of trouble? Not that I don't think you would be in trouble, but like,
No,
what was the goal?
well, for me, it was more of I was more of a bookworm early, so to develop into an athlete was the goal for me. So it was more of the challenge. I was always chasing that challenge.
I gotta ask, like, with your dad being, a coach in football, did that motivate you or deter you from, doing that? Because for me, my dad was a musician. He really like pushed me and my sister to get into it, and the more he pushed, the more I retreated back, right? So was that a net benefit or positive to have your dad already kind of initiated into that world?
Half and half, really, because growing up, the understanding the aspect of the sport that really paid off. So like the understanding of the X and O's of the game, I really benefited for having a dad there. But then my dad was like the legendary coach at my high school, so it was always, oh well, you're only the starter because like your dad was the coach. So it was always trying to get away from that moniker. So I just had to like step out and just be myself.
Yeah, no, 100%. And really quick, Joe Panther Variety Show says, "Hey guys, keep up the great work. Thank you, good sir.
Yes,
Great
sir.
podcast, by the way. In Joe Panther Jr.'s Variety Show. Shout out to you guys. Now, it kind of reminds me, right? Like, and again, my brain, forgive me, is all combat sports and pro wrestling, right? So
See, I
your
love pro
story
wrestling.
is not, yeah, not too dissimilar from like, the promoter's kid, a Jeff and Jerry Jarrett or a Brett and
Exactly.
all the Hearts, really, or the Von Erichs, the
Oh, the
Guerreros,
tragedy
like
of the
all of
Von
those,
Erichs.
right? So you're kind of that. You're kind of your dad's a winning legendary coach at your high school, and then now you come up, and even before you hit to high school, you know that those assumptions were going to happen, the
Exactly.
nepotism, right? Like, so you're as you're kind of like you're celebrating a birthday. I can only imagine, like, oh, I'm 10. That's only a couple more years before I hit high school. I'm in junior high. There's a couple more years before what have you. So how did you prepare yourself for a lot of you're going from, I mean, two worlds, right? Like bookworm, scholastic achievement, right?
Hmm.
And then athletics where you're not, I mean, of course, just like you said, the game plans and everything, that's total, like, mental, right?
Super
That's
mental.
completely cerebral, right? But you're not really kind of flexing your muscle in literally and figuratively speaking when you're reading, right? So now you have to take all of the gifts that you have and take it into an athletic field. How are you preparing? Were you hitting weights?
Oh yeah, definitely. I ended up taking like a semester off of playing football my first year so I could just focus on the weight room. I did that almost twice in my life. Going into high school and going into junior college, I just took a semester off of everything just to focus on the weight room to get my body ready so I can adapt to the new physicalities of those things.
And I mean, in terms of to me, you kind of speak to running back, right? You
Exactly.
know, yeah. So I mean, was that the goal?
Now, at first, I like to play defense. I was so well rounded at every position, so sometimes I just got moved around a lot. And at running back, I can contribute more at one time. I was a great blocker. I could run with the ball. I can catch. And then just to understand the X and O's part, like I was a second quarterback for the offense because I would help out the quarterback. If he didn't see something, I would see. I would make sure like I could convey that to the rest of the line or the other running back or even some of the receivers.
I mean, I think that's amazing, right? To play both sides of the ball, that's incredible. That's a strength. That's I don't think I mean, obviously at a pro and like a collegiate level, you gotta focus on one because the depth is so, and the talent level is so
Oh
deep,
yes,
right? But I
super.
mean, at that kind of formative stage, and again, you have this aptitude in other things, right? Your dad is already, in it, right? It gives you a better understanding of the game overall.
Exactly. So once you can understand the game, it's simple. It's like I know where guys are gonna be. I know where the cutback is. I can understand what defense they're in right away. So it's like, okay, I'll understand this so I can exploit that real fast.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, our good brother Johnny Knuckles says, "Good evening. Hope all is well." Thank you. Yeah, I mean, one of
Mr.
the
Knuckles,
yeah, absolutely. Johnny Knuckles Parker. I mean, that's a good brother, a friend of the show. He's been on the show before, and yeah, just again, the combat sports community coming out. I love it. So as are kind of achieving the things that you want in football, right? Is your dad looking over and we're like, yep? Do you get like a code of I want to say code of I mean, is he going to co-signing in the work that you're doing?
half and half. It was
Okay.
a special predicament I was stuck in. The principal at the school ended up not liking my dad. There was a new principal, so he wanted to kind of transition to a new team, and like I was kind of left in the middle. So he wanted my success, but he didn't want my team success. So it was always kind of like a button of heads, but not to the point of like, oh, I don't like my dad, or it was just like, it was like, oh, this is fucked up. But it was more of like, I mean, if we won, he congratulated, but if it was a losing game, I'm just like, they're like, oh, bro, like it's gonna be all right. Like, bro, you don't understand the car ride I gotta go through right now. You know what I mean? I still hang out with the old coaches because like that's pretty much family and my dad. So dealing with that aspect after the game. So during the game I was fine, but after the game it was a pain.
I can only imagine. I remember like Bret Hart, when he tells his dad Stu, a legend, right? And not just a legend in Canada, what have you, but like He's got the dungeon where he's training wrestlers and everything like that. And he's very meekly telling his dad, like, hey, maybe I'm going to give this a go and getting put through the paces. And if he had a bad match, oh, I mean, there's no way that he didn't, like basically Brett's dad just took him and stretched him more. That's what Brett's dad did. And it was like, you're going to get this one way or another.
Hey, it's definitely going to make you tougher
Yeah.
because like life battles are way tougher than the game of football. So I was always prepared.
So, I mean, what do you feel like you gained from that experience, even though it wasn't great at that moment? What do you feel like you gained, from your dad's kind of like your dad is not dad, he's coach in that moment.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't coaching me, so I really didn't. For track, he was my coach, but not never for football. And actually, in football, we were more of rivals because he ended up coaching for a different school, and we had to play him. So you know me, I'm not taking it easy. I'm gonna have my best game if I can and prove my point. I'm here to win. I don't care who I'm going against. I don't care if my dad's coaching. My dad could be playing for the team. It wouldn't matter to me.
So obviously, right, because you end up in combat sports, right? So how does that transition from the gridiron to the cage happen?
Far apart in reality, it was more of for me in MMA. It was I started watching the Ultimate Fighter, ended up watching the Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner fight, and that just sparked this big interest. And at the gym I was working for at the time is what's that? Bodies in Motion in Northridge. We had a couple fighters there. One dude who ended up being real good friends of mine. I don't even know if I should say his name out here, so I'll just leave it at that. My boy Trav. So I ended up asking him about this Muay Thai plum. I saw him and another instructor doing because I just thought that was so cool just to watch them. And then I saw Forrest use that in the fight, and I was like, oh man, that's dope. So I just asked him to teach me that, and from there it was like I instantly got good at it because I've always been like a coachable person. If he can show me how to do it, I pretty much can do it. And I was like way stronger than him at the time. So I was almost overpowering him from the Muay Thai clinch. So he took me down. And I was like, oh, okay. I saw this yesterday. So I just threw up a triangle and landed it perfectly. He tapped out. I let go, and he was about to beat the shit out of me. And I was like, yo, why you so mad? He was like, bro, like, this is the first time I even heard Eddie Bravo's name. He was like, bro, I've trained at Eddie Bravo's. I've trained here and there with all kind of fighters, and they can't tap me out. Like, how did you just tap me out? You had to fight before. I was like, no, I watched it yesterday. You know what I mean? And like, if I see it, like, I pretty much could do it. And he didn't even give me a choice at that point. He was like, look, you're gonna train to fight because like you pretty much embarrassed me in front of my class. So either I'm gonna beat you up or you're gonna train to fight. So obviously I trained to fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, this happens, and he is the coach of the class.
Yeah, he was teaching class, and it just happened that way. That was like even my first. I was telling my friend my first jujitsu tournament completely on accident. Completely. Me and my guy, we were going to support one of my other friends, and he was doing a Muay Thai fight. They had a Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu tournament at the same time. And when we get there, some guy just keeps eyeing me down and walking by me with his chest out. And I'm just like, okay, I guess this dude weird. I didn't pay no mind. Then he got closer and almost bumped my shoulder and then walked by. And I'm like, yo, I know we in Santa Clarita, but like, we gonna have to leave because I'm about to fuck this dude up if he do that shit one more time. And the homie was like, oh, he probably in the jujitsu tournament. He's sizing you up. I'm like, yo, homie, I'm from Watts, my nigga. Like, we not, you ain't gonna size me up like that and just think it's cool. And he was just no, no, just calm down. So he was like, join the tournament. You might get him, or you catch him in the finals or something. I was like, you know what? I might as well. I'm already irritated. So I joined them, paid the fee, do the thing, warm up. First match, they called me out, and then they called whatever his name was. He come out. Obviously, he's at that. He's a member of that gym, so they called it. He got a little nickname called Showtime or whatever. And he come out. Everybody there cheering for him. I found out like he was like one of the instructors, and I subbed that fool in like a minute and a half with a guillotine. So that was pretty. That was just pretty sweet. So like I was like, all right, maybe I'll give this a try.
That's I mean, you're basically 2-0 in terms of embarrassing the hell out of instructors in front of the class. That's that's pretty wild. That's pretty
I
wild.
mean, hey, they tried to escalate. Well, one was the actual tournament, so like I don't feel bad for that one. Like my homeboy was just like, "Hey, I asked you to show me something, and you tried to escalate it because I wasn't that bad at it, and like you caused that on yourself." But the other guy, oh, he definitely earned that. So I didn't feel sorry for him at all.
No, as well you shouldn't. Now, and you were already training, right, when you're under this tournament?
No, I
Really?
maybe 3 months.
Damn.
I had my first because there was no camo yet, so I had my first underground fight within like 6 7 months and beat a
Damn.
guy. He was already like 5-1. This dude was a purple belt. And he was badass. John Z. Yeah, he was pretty dope.
And for those who don't know, the camo that we're talking about, is the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization. It is the governing body for amateur mixed martial arts here in California, and
The
it's not just
greatest
amateur.
amateur
Yeah,
mixed martial arts. Period.
100%. I mean, even when what is it? What is not EBI, but I almost want to say the slap fight championship, but that's a
Yeah.
different thing.
ABI. It was started a
What is it?
ABI Combat Jiu Jitsu. Now it's
Combat
Combat
Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu Jitsu
Yes,
World.
absolutely. When Combat Jiu-Jitsu comes to town, or if there's Combat Jiu-Jitsu rules at a particular tournament, right, non-EBI or non-Eddie Bravo produced, Camo is usually there, right? And for EBI specifically, the good brother Mike Beltran is the ref, kind of handpicked. So that's a kind of cool thing. But yeah, I mean, it's that's what we were right, right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, even for me, like I was there when Eddie was thinking about combat jujitsu. A lot of the rules and stuff came from me, and even them dealing with camo was my idea.
Wow. Which I mean, I guess I was gonna bring it up later, but I mean, how does that relationship? You posted a photo, crazy because Bellator is no longer right, but us at
Exactly.
Bellator, uh,
Exactly.
kind of celebrating D Rod's victory when he was, I mean, that was a wild night. I had my high school commencement ceremony at the forum and what have you, so to be there that night and Bosun Wang and I the promo video, right? So
Hmm.
for us to be there and then to celebrate with you and Eddie, it was to me it was a surreal moment because that was I was still pretty. I was a I was a greenhorn. I was green in my career, right? So like Eddie, what Eddie Bravo? What? And you're like, Eddie, come here. Here's Woods. I'm like, what do I say?
That
Don't
was a
say
great
something
night for
stupid.
me because that was the first night I got to corner with Eddie. And if anybody who knows the corner with Ed, either you're gonna do a great job and the guy is winning, or Eddie's gonna talk over you. Period.
Wow. Yeah, because you were his corner that night, right?
And Eddie didn't say anything. He just let
Damn.
me. Well, it wasn't like I was doing something so amazing. D Rod was just ready, and you know what I mean. D Rod is D Rod. That's why he was in the UFC. He was a top 15 UFC fighter. So I mean, can't take nothing away from that guy. So he was doing his job perfectly. It
Hmm.
wasn't a whole lot for me to do, and even less for Eddie to do. But sit here and watch our guy win in the first round, and with jujitsu being the knockout guy, that's what made it even better.
Yeah, it was wild. And do you remember the promo me and D-Rod in the fucking concourse of the forum? He's like, "Woods, you be Mean Gene." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." I think I have it on Instagram Live somewhere. I need to put that on this channel because like that was
Those are the
just
fun
fucking wild.
times.
Oh
Those are
man,
the fun times.
good times, bro. Like now that Bellator is no longer, it makes it that much like I don't know more sweet.
Yeah,
That
more memorable. You can never
yeah,
do that
absolutely.
again.
No, no, not at all. You know. So I mean, obviously, um, so did you ever fight for Camo when they come around or?
Yeah, it took me a while. This is why I love Sparstar. I had registered for Camo and just at that point I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to fight right now. I went back to playing semi-pro football, playing with my little brother, having fun, and then I get a call from Tony Padilla.
Shout out to T Bone.
Oh, that's my guy, always. Papas. Hey fucker,
Yeah,
I
right.
got this guy who nobody want to fight, and I seen you. You got skills, fucker, but you don't want to fight nobody. Let me get you a fight, Papa. And I was just like, let me think about it. All right, I'll do it. Lo and behold, it was a setup almost. Not really, but I ended up fighting a 10th ranked 205er at a catch weight. Yeah, I only lost the split. So, you know what I mean? That shot my camel rankings through the roof right off the back with a loss. So it was still a win at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I was unscathed. I walked out like I got wrestled by a 6'3" guy, and it was hilarious. I'll say I blew his legs up, so he didn't want to stand with me no more. So wrestling we went, and jujitsu back then was still low level, so it was fine. I had a fun experience.
And I mean, what time period is this? Is this Sparstar at Hollywood Park?
Hollywood Park, OG status,
Yeah, dude. I wanted to go to those shows. I had just moved back to LA. That was like what? Oh no, 2012?
2012. Yeah,
Yeah, 2012.
2012, 2012.
I lived right, I mean, with like where my mom stayed on, it was right on 97th. So it
Okay.
was like 2 blocks away.
Yeah, I was
And
right down to 105, so it was like, bro, that's a 5-10 minutes drive from the house. I was loving it.
yeah, no, 100%. I mean, some of the luminaries, right? I mean, let's kind of because you brought up the Star and you are one of the OGs, right? So, I mean, some of the luminaries that would kind of pop in and pop out set the table for us.
Like, what do you mean?
So, I remember like I've seen photos of like a pre WWE Shayna Baszler down there and
Yeah,
Big Edmund Ronda's coach fighting. Let's see who else. Uh, My twin Hanach would do
Hanaj,
comment.
Uncle
Yeah,
Hanaj,
no child support, fruits and vegetables, poha, poha
porra,
carajo.
caralho.
Yeah, so I mean, any memories of just being around that scene because like there, man, it was so pivotal in terms of the development. I mean, it's still pivotal to fighter development. All of these amateur shows, uh, California and otherwise, right? But like
Oh yeah,
that was a special time.
it was super special for me because that's when I first learned how to start doing commentary. I ended up doing a couple. Jonathan King, shout out to Jonathan King, my boy. Bam. He ended up asking me to call a couple of fights with him, and then we had a little chemistry. So he just we stayed. He called me back the next day. That's when I did a pro show. That's when I met Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, and a couple of those other people, Josh Barnett. And it was just like, okay, you are pretty good. So now Epic gets the fruits of the labor.
Yes, and for those who don't know, that's Epic Fighting down in San Diego. They're still running 4 points at Sheridan in San Diego, right?
Yes, sir.
Not too, what, about 10-minute drive from SeaWorld,
I never
something like
been to
that.
SeaWorld.
Huh?
Never been to SeaWorld.
Well, that's the thing on the marquee. It's like we're 10 minutes away. I
Oh,
remember.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah, I'm terrible with stuff like that.
I mean that's it. But I mean, how has that been for you? Obviously, you've had. I mean, you were even doing this longer than I, right? So
Yes.
to be kind of one of the OGs, not just to fight for Sparstar and like pre camo, and then doing commentary, right? And now this is where you're going, where you've coached a lot. I mean, you're a smart. I mean, epic fighting champion, right? So to come
Yep.
home as a conquering champion and to lend your voice and commentary to, I mean, these up and comers, that's got to be a cool and gratifying feeling for you.
Oh, it's super. As we're talking right now, I'm sitting here like with my Epic Hall of Fame plaque in my face, just staring me down. And it's just I've been there for almost 13 years, back and forth with them as a fighter, as a coach, and now as the pay-per-view commentary. And it's just been amazing because they've always been there for every level I've been at, and they've always pushed me to be that main event. That's where I came with the name for main event Matty, because it's always they had me in the main event spot. They had my guys in main event spots like Alexis, Mario, Giovanni. They've all fought for the title. Me and Alexis, we're the only ones that are. I was an epic fighting champion, and then he's been like I was his coach, not just his corner. I was his like born bred coach and raised him as a fighter to become an epic champion. So we have the epic legacy going on too. So it's been like a great thing for me there. Like I have great love for Sparstar. It's the same thing when I go down there. I just like even though I don't do commentary, it still is like I go home to a big family who's happy to see me.
Yeah, and that's the scene, right? That's part of the many reasons that why I do this. Like it's every show, every event, right, is a bit of a it's a homecoming, right? You
Oh,
get
it's
to
so fun. It's like hanging out with your grandma's house at the cookout. You can't
and
wait to
nobody
see your favorite cousins, ask for the
yeah.
food. Like for me, it's even like it's not just the fighters and the people running the show. I have so much fun with the people who run Camo, David Dinkins, Gordon Owler, like all of the inspectors, some of the referees, even the new referees like Carlos Eduardo. I'm always on him. I'm making fun of him, teasing him. We all running around. It's just so much fun for me.
Yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't agree more. And it's weird, right? Because people still have this kind of like uh MMA is violence, MMA is whatever. And I was like, dude, you don't even know. There's some of the most brilliant minds that reside here, talkers like that. I mean, the best of all worlds, right? You have like substitute teachers, almost of the vein of Rich Franklin, like they're a substitute teacher in training, whatever, because they just fell in love with training and whatever. And they're taking fights and whatever. And oh,
Well, the
even the
girl from China who fought
yeah,
for the UFC with the knockout, she was like a neurosurgeon. So it's
yeah,
MMA is art. I don't care how you look at it. You can take it how you want. Boxing is a science. MMA is art, and it's just so many canvases and so many different styles. It's hard if you are a fan or if you even participate for you not to love it.
absolutely. I mean, you get bit by the bug, right? And it's funny that you mentioned like the art and the canvas of it, right? Because no matter what your artistry, right?
Exactly.
Your areas of expertise, right? Whether you paint, whether you sculpt, whether you do karate, jujitsu, whatever. What is the one thing that unites it all? It's the arts,
It's
right?
the art.
Right? So your feet and hands and chokes and everything like that is much like a paintbrush to Picasso, right?
Hmm.
Is a a
That's how I
pen,
feel about it.
yeah, a pen to paper to Paul McCartney, right? Like whatever euphemism that you want to make, it's what unites us all, right? As artists.
Exactly. Like you've seen some of those shots. You've seen some of the slow motion aspects of it. Like somebody ducking and pivoting at the right time. Like that's so precise. And then they just hit you with that cross, and then you can see like the spit go away. Like the
Yeah.
still frames, the way, or even the way artists will take it and just transport it to a canvas, and it's still like the same fight, but like now it's from an artist's point of view. It is still amazing.
No, 100%. And I mean, to further your like cookout kind of scenario, right? It's also a renaissance, right? Because like each show that you go to, right? I mean, it has a different feel, right? The
Exactly.
fans are different, fighters are different, right? And the way that, the judges, right? The judges, that's their art, right? So the way that they judge is the way they see combat sports, whether they've
Exactly.
competed in it or not, what have you. The the promoter, right? You see how they see this sport, right? In the way that they produce, what's going on, the way that the venue is, the venue itself, right? The coaches have their own, kind of mindset on how this is supposed to go, right? The fighters, obviously, and then the media folk, right? Like every photographer, every interviewer, every podcaster, every content creator, like all have different ways of seeing it. And when you put them together, it's like this beautiful cornucopia of stuff. And, you know, and I mean, it permeates weeks and months after because that fighter is still sharing that podcast or interview or picture or whatever, and they're tagging each other, and opponents that were talking smack or whatever, now they're training together, and like it's just so amazing.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing unless you lose. Like I tell everybody, like those 7 days after a win, you're the greatest thing on the planet. Everybody wants to write about you. They repost everything you show. They're your biggest fans. Everybody wants to take you out to go eat, drink, and celebrate. But that loss, oh, 7 days of misery. I mean, and it's the misery that doesn't stop. You can get back to the gym on Monday, you still lost. Guess what? Next month, you still lost. And so it's never going to go away until you get that win again. So it's very even poetic.
Yeah, no, I often tell people like just on my experience, right? Like you basically, I've seen fighters gain more from a loss than they do a win, right? Because they basically come in, they might have 1 or 2 wins, whatever.
Yeah,
Think that,
winning is just fun.
oh yeah, absolutely.
You don't
Think
learn
they're on
anything.
top of the world, right? And then that loss, and they agonize. I mean, like torture, borderline torture themselves, right?
Yeah, well,
Uh,
you know what you didn't do.
yeah, and
You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
minutia detail, and it just eats at them and eats at them and eats at them.
See, I can't. I don't like losing. So for me, it was, oh, I'll think about not training today, but then that thought in my head is like, oh, okay, what if today was the day you learned the thing that got you out of trouble in your next fight and you missed today? Oh, I'm going
Mm,
to the gym. I don't care how I feel. Everything could hurt, but today may be the day I learn this last little nugget that I'm gonna need in this next fight. I'm gonna go. And on those days they didn't go, I didn't finish my whole 5 mile run. I didn't do all my extra 10 push-ups. Now after you lost, you're thinking about all those things.
damn, dude,
Yeah.
that's
And
wild.
yeah. You can't ever get it back. That's why losing sucks. 'Cause now you remember everything you didn't do.
And that's, I
All the
mean,
great things you did ahead of time mean nothing.
yeah, and that's not even including, the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of tickets because they're 55, I mean, like 55 to 75 for general admission, what have you. You need to, sell a couple dozen of those, right? So, like, yeah, everybody's wearing your shirt, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the
And,
worst.
and, and you go out here and you stink the bed. And this is why like, some people tell me to be a little nicer when I'm commentating to certain people. And I'm just like, nah, because of that reason right there. All those people who bought tickets, you telling me I got to spend my $50 to $100. If I want to bring a date, that's $200. If we want to drink and have any kind of fun, I'm putting $400 on my boy right now already.
Yeah.
And my nigga, you can't go run them 2 extra miles, man. Fuck you. You ain't getting.
We ain't boys
Yeah,
anymore. We ain't boys
pretty
anymore.
much. Don't invite me to your fight and you lose, bruh. And I saw you on Instagram doing shit, man. Kiss my ass. I'm
That's where
not
the real
even,
story is, right?
bro. I see it all the time, bro. If I see you on Instagram training too much, I already think you a goofy ass. You know what I mean? Hey, go and train. Like I ain't never seen Alex Pereira really be posting like that. You don't see Izzy posting like you don't see no real good fighters posting they workout and how hard they training. You might get a real video editor that recorded them that while they was training, but you don't see them with their phone out trying to set up a camera in the middle of practice and shit. No, they not there for that. That's what y'all there for. You here if you worried about likes and views, homie, don't wonder why you lost. And then don't get mad at me because I described the way this nigga whooped your ass. and I wasn't nice about it. Ain't no nice way to describe an ass whooping.
Wait, there you're telling me that there's fighters
Oh,
that are
people
doing it
who get mad?
for the gram?
Hell yeah, bro. Bro.
Really?
As you see, there is no hat on my head, so no cap, bro. No cap at all. I'm not
But
capping. There's so many dudes out there. That's why David Dinkins got to post every other week to try to be finding dudes fight because people are signing up for fights, pretending to be training, showing everything on the gram. Oh, I can't wait to fight. I can't wait to fight. Oh, I did not pulled out. Why you pull out? You was supposed to fight. I got so many people I know just can't find a fight because, but like you got all these thousands of registered fighters who just don't want to fight you. Why are you here to fight? Supposed to be a
That's
fight.
yeah, it's crazy. Now, I mean, can you think of a scenario, right? Like, what's the craziest like pull out
Oh, pause
scenario?
first. First,
Go for it.
I'm gonna give you a pause on that pull out.
Okay. All right.
You know you got kids. Your pull out game is trash.
Yeah, I mean, there's just one. There's one.
Yeah,
And
but
then
the
the
worst
one
I've ever seen.
you fucking- yeah.
Oh, I have a story. It was 2016. 2016. My guy Tom Regal, Tom the Bomb. Shout out to the homie. He had a fight at when they still had Archangel,
Oh yeah.
and Heather Hyatt. Shout out to Blue Eyes Heather. She set up the fight, and the champ, and he's the champ of Archangel at 170. Guy was like state ranked number 5, and he saw Tom at weigh-ins and refused to fight. He told them he wanted $500 to fight my guy
For an amateur though?
for an amateur camel fight. He wanted 500 or he's not coming back. So of course ain't nobody paid that dude no 500. So my dude didn't even get to fight. We drove all the way out there. He cut all that weight for this
Where's
dude to
that? Like
be
San
that
Bernardino, isn't
scared.
it?
Mm.
Archangel was
It was before
Riverside.
he got to. It was before. It was a little after that. They were doing. It was like in Fallbrook or something, somewhere around there.
Damn. Yeah, that's still San Bernardino County.
Oh,
That's like
it was still a mission.
yeah, 2, 3 hours outside of LA, almost 3 if traffic.
It was like an hour and a half,
Okay.
2 hours. But I was just like, wow, wow, that's what you do. Okay, well,
He must be an Ultimate Warrior fan, right? And
I don't
Warriors,
know what he was,
held up Vince for like half a mil. That
bro.
number, that number is the same, 500, right? It's just the
Eh,
zeros after it.
pretty much, and guess what? Same thing happened to both of them. They got their walking papers. I ain't
Oh
gonna play
man,
that, homie. You signed up to fight. Like, I don't know how you go home after some shit like that. Like, you sold tickets. Everybody
yeah,
knew you were fighting today, and now you gonna just disappear? You just
yeah,
disappear? Wow. Shook. You shouldn't be a fighter. If you're
yeah,
scared,
man.
go to church. Don't sign up for a fight.
Now, what's the best case scenario? I have one of somebody just kind of showing up just to be there. It almost reminds me of your first jujitsu tournament. But I'm gonna leave the floor with you.
Oh, the best one?
Yeah,
There's so many posers, bro.
I feel like the best case scenario of that not happening. Uh, it was actually at Epic. It was Tyreek Woods. Tyreek Woods was there to either corner or just be there for his buddy, right?
Okay.
His teammate, and the camo title fight. Um, it pretty much the state title fight, which is the crown jewel of everything, right? It's almost like the NWA, right? The old school territory system where
Exactly.
everybody has their own promotional titles or what have you, but we all recognize the one crown jewel, right? The 10 pounds of gold, right? So that's what the camo title is here in California. And Tyreek Woods uh, came, right? His friend or teammate weighed in or whatever, and Tyreek had like a couple wins, within him, right? So that would put him in contention for a camel title. Well, the other half of the main event did not either show up. I can't remember the what happened, but Tyreek Woods comes in on weight, perfect scenario for like 185 or some odd.
Oh,
And he comes
nice.
on and he like he was supposed to be there. Like his friend wasn't even in a title fight, I don't think. Right? Even if it was going to be for an epic title, right? But he comes to support his homie, and he ends up with the both the state and a promotional belt, and
Hey,
he didn't plan to fight.
that's sometimes it goes your way, but he was ready. That's all that meant, and he's a fighter. Sometimes you don't have 3 months to get ready. You're supposed to be ready. So
Yeah,
fight. It happens.
no, man, and he's been able to, even at that level, right? As a amateur fighter, right? He took that, and then he started posting TikToks and whatever, and his social media following is like, I mean, in the six-figure point, and but taking an opportunity, right, as a fighter, as a whatever, because like some people are just like, I just want to be a fighter. I'm a prize fighter. I don't care about belts. I don't care about money. And like, okay,
Then you're not a
I mean,
prize fighter. You're a
yeah,
goofball.
yeah, and when that CTE hits,
Hey, you just here to waste time and effort. It's like the guys. I just want to play football because like I ain't got nothing else to do. Those are those type of fighters too. But like, if you're not here to make money and win belts, why are you here?
yeah,
Like, I could see if it doesn't happen, that's fine. That happens for a lot of us. But like, if that's not your goal in starting this, like, why did you start? If your initial start is like to be one of the best in the world, why did you start this journey? Just stay in
yeah,
class. Like, it's fine to train and just stay in class. It's fine. I know like great dudes who can fight. He'd be like, bro, like, why you not a fighter? You like got all the skills and the talent. They're like, because like I got a job or like I do regular stuff and like I don't care enough to make these kind of sacrifices. Oh, okay, I respect you. But the guy who's gonna get in the cage and then make all these excuses because he didn't make the sacrifices, man, I don't got time for you. Anybody want to hear that shit,
ain't nobody got time for that.
bruh?
Yeah, no, it's funny, right? To go that hard, to be half-assed, right?
Makes no sense.
I don't understand it. Or even get sign up for promotions that ain't gonna go nowhere, right? And it's like I just want to fight. Okay, well now you took an L for a rinky-dink promotion, right? Now
Dropping
nobody
your
wants to mess with
status,
you.
yeah, and then they don't want it because they don't understand the game.
Mhm. And that's the thing. It's a fight business, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
might
it's
not
the
think it.
business. Nobody
Yeah,
want to pay attention to that part. Dudes don't want to sell tickets. They don't want to have to do the promotion side of the game and then don't understand like why these other dudes are making money.
hmm
Like you got to give like or at least be a great fighter.
but even
Like
I
if
mean,
you're getting finishes, somebody's going to get you on their card. Period. Period.
yeah,
Nobody cares about any other things. You're a finisher. We're gonna get you a spot. But you decisionators, you going to come out here and waste
decisionator.
everybody time for fucking 9 to 10, 15, 25 minutes with you trying to take a nap. Anybody want who wants to see that? And then y'all complain, oh, I can't get a fight. Like, bro, look at your last fight. It was terrible. It went 3 rounds of boring. Who wants that? You know what I mean? Who wants that? Nobody. Finish a fight. Put your whole heart out there. You know what I mean? Y'all want to do cool dances. Oh, I stood on business. Like, no, you didn't.
Man, there's some verbal gems there. I mean, 3 rounds of boring decisionator.
Bro, hey, I got pro fighters. I have a pro fighter. I'm not going to throw him under the bus.
Okay,
But, like, I got on his case so hard. Pause. I was on him every day about just like, hey, bro, finish the fight. Once you get finished, you're a decisionator, bro. I don't even know your name until you know how to finish a fight. So I just started making fun of him every time I saw him. left and right. And you know what happened? He started getting finishes. Like,
Ah,
oh, there you are, bro. I know you.
ah.
You look real familiar now.
You wrote him though. Damn. So-
Well, like, either you gonna do this, like, or not. Like, why in your mindset already you set to go 15 minutes? Like, if it's so happen to go 15 minutes, like, hey, it happens. Then you're a tough dude. But like me in my mind thinking I'm ready to go 15 minutes. No, I'm not. I'm ready to get this fight over with.
yeah.
No, we're
Let's
not
finish
going
it in 8.
15 minutes.
8 minutes and I'm out with entrances.
Either you finish you, I'm gonna finish you, or you finish me. Like, but like, there is none of this. Oh, let's take it to the decision. I don't want to go to the cards, bro. This ain't Uno. I
Yeah.
don't want to take it to the cards. I don't fucking judges up there like Miss Cleo anyway with them damn cards. The
Tell, tell me.
winning
Oh,
by decision, man. Like, see, I'm just blind as shit.
oh
You know
damn.
what I
That's
mean?
oh fuck. Oh man, that's great. There's some t-shirts that are percolating. I fucking yeah, dude, we're gonna go 50-50 on this one. 15 I imagine Miss Cleo as the fucking
Bro,
judge.
that's what we
Miss
got all the time.
Miss Cleo, fucking
Dialing that shit in.
Adelaide Bird, and who's the other one?
And the old lady used to be like, kiss my grits.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Fucking. Jesus. Where's Cecil Peoples at? I feel like that's right.
Bro,
Wait.
like,
What's the move? It's the yeah. I feel. I feel like I'm at Gladiator. Oh, sorry. I'm not. We don't name names. Don't name
we
names.
don't, yeah, don't be snitching. No snitching on
No.
this podcast.
No. 100%. This is a lifestyle podcast. It's not a dirt sheet podcast, right? I'm just saying. Um. Yeah.
We'll
So
tell a story, but we'll leave out the names.
yeah. hundred
Welcome,
percent. Right.
welcome to
It's been
real live Reddit.
yeah. 100%. Right. Names
Reddit
redacted.
stories of the camel community.
The stories of the camel community. Oh, that's another one. Anyway, yeah. So obviously, main event Matty, right? Main
Let's
event Jey
go.
Uso, right?
That's my guy.
Okay. So what is it? What is about him?
I like his grit. I like how he carries himself. But for me, it wasn't me jocking his name. I think I had the name first.
I agree. So there's some residuals that coming your way.
Nah, because it's so many people who rock the main event, and they like if you earn that main event title, you're just that guy. So like it's just another guy I respect very highly. I mean, he's a good dude. He cared for the kids. He's a good father. So it's somebody like, and then like I like the way he wrestle. He's a great entertainer. Like I mean, yeeting all over the place
Mm-hmm.
all day.
Yeah. No. He. I. We'll wait until we're off air. I'll tell you a Uso story. It's a doozy. It's a fucking doozy. No, man. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Because I was like, who was first? Main event Mafia in TNA? Sting and Kurt Angle and all them rules? Or,
Exactly.
right.
Because that's
So,
where I kind of just because remember my fight team was the main event masters.
yeah, 100%. Facts.
So it was always like for me, it was always like an MEM somewhere. So we were like 5-star main eventers, and we had
Yeah.
everything going. So it was like, well, since it's just me, we just got main event Maddie left up here.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's the way it has to be, and that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah. Funny, it was I ended up saying that live and like my boy Jordan, who commentator does commentary with me, he just looked over at me like, "Yo," I was just like, "Huh, I like that too." Same day, I ended up changing my Instagram and everything. So I was just like, "Oh, main event, Maddie, homie, let's go."
Yeah, it fits. It fits because, and also it's the way you carry yourself, right? Much like you were talking about Jay Uso, right? Sometimes it's the persona, it's the presence that a person walks into, a particular situation in. And there
Right.
has never been a time where I've known you where I mean, literally all eyes are on you. It's either the way you dress, the way you present yourself. You've got bling, like there's something. We affectionately called you Pretty Ricky for the longest time because that was that was it.
Hey, it's Ricky Fontaine.
Yeah,
Pretty
okay,
Ricky is what they call me.
all right, hell yeah, dude. I'm with it. I'm with it. But that's it. But and that's also the beauty of it, right? We'll talk. We'll maybe talk shit, right? But
Gotta
at the
talk
end, it's all
shit.
love, right? That's at the end of the day, it's
That's
all
what it's
love.
always all about.
Yeah,
If
because
you don't love what you do, you can't talk about it.
100%, and especially there's a humility where there's like levels to this shit, and like you were just talking about like sizing people up. Go try and size somebody up at an MMA show, right? Like shit, shit ain't gonna work out for you. Like,
At all. That's why like a lot of people don't understand. I love to go to MMA shows only because that's not gonna happen.
mm-hmm,
I get to walk around completely free because I know everybody in here is gonna have a certain amount of like. I'm gonna stay in line because there's a bunch of fighters around here.
mm-hmm.
So like, there's never a point where people really get out of line. Like in other places now, you got people staring you up and down for no reason. And it's like, bro, if you only knew who you were staring at, you wouldn't stare at me like that. But now it's like
Yeah,
at a fight, it's like, oh, I get to dress up because hey, I know nobody want to fight because everybody else in here fight. Y'all fight all day, every day. We come in here to chill and relax, and I'm coming here to just be me.
yeah, and that's the difference, right? I mean, one of the fun times about going to those Bellator forum shows, right, is like you got like fucking literally thousands, right? Forums, what, 16, 17,000
Something like
filled to
that.
the brim, right? Which means like at least 40%, at least 40% of that 17,000 are
Right.
all fighters,
Fighters. So
right? Even the
you gonna
kids,
stay in
even the
line.
fucking kids are all fighters. Kids got little 7-year old girls got cauliflower ear and shit. Like everybody a fighter, right? And then the few fights that happen are two drunkard bowling ball looking motherfuckers falling the fuck out the chair
Drunken uncle fights.
in flip flops and tap out gear. And it's like, fuck, it's 2017. Y'all still wearing tap out gear? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
What do we do?
that's how you fight spike the guys who ain't never fought.
Just stop,
The non-fighter people always fight places.
just bleed, twist his dick.
Twist his dick. Good old dick twist.
Oh man, that because that works, right? I feel like I don't know. Oh, if I was in there, oh, do you hear the side ass commentary? Like,
No,
hey,
that's the
babe, if
worst.
I was in there, I would.
That's the worst. You would be dead already. So stop talking.
Oh man, but it's like that. You gotta love it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what brought some of that false bravado before we got humbled is what brought us all here, right? I can do that.
Oh, my favorite line. Just get up.
Go get up in Eddie Bravo, bro.
Like,
Go get up
come
in
on.
Eddie Bravo's white belt. Jesus Christ. You're gonna have a gotta pack a
Oh,
lunch.
bro, I saw that. I trained karate back in the day when I was a kid. So you did nothing. You
Right?
know enough to know nothing. Shut up. Go sit
But not
down.
know enough where they should stand the fuck down. That's the other part.
They don't know enough to shut the fuck up because that's
Yeah,
what they need to do.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
it
I'm
is.
like,
So
the
I mean, it
keyboard to
kind of
get you beat up in real life.
for real, dude, for real. What is it?
Like,
I'm not even going to name the discipline. I have it in my head. I'm like, there are some people that I'm all like, you thought like training MMA for the gram is whatever. There's some shit that I know for a fact won't work, will not work.
bro,
And I'm a black
Aikido.
belt. Yeah, bro. I'm just, oh man.
Hey, bro, I
Or
trained Aikido back in the day.
oh, the best one. I see red, or my mind goes black. Okay, man.
Uh, okay, so it's your face after I finish with you.
Yeah,
You can be
black
black
and
and
blue.
blue.
Shit, we don't discriminate. All the colors can come. Black, blue, red. You're
Bro,
gonna look like a damn American flag when I'm done with you. People be pledging allegiance and shit.
bro. Hit him with the dance. That's what it's gonna look like. That's what he gonna think is happening. Like, okay,
Oh
hilarious.
man, but I mean, obviously, as your life and career continues, right? You mentioned you're epic Hall of Famer, epic fighting Hall of Famer. What has been some of your favorite moments in your journey through combat sports?
Definitely winning the first title because being in San Diego and not being from San Diego. So like the first time, no crowd pop, zero. Nobody cared who I was. But then I became interesting. And then my second fight for Epic, I was more of like because now I was going against somebody from the arena, and you know what the kind of crowd they bring.
Mm-hmm.
I was booed out the place. They booed me so hard. And for me, it didn't bother me at all. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna shut every one of y'all the fuck up real quick. And when I finished him in the second round, the place was quiet. You could hear crickets. And then that third one, it was like almost like Rocky Four. Like I started off at the bottom, like they didn't like me because, like, of course, I'm from LA and I'm fighting another guy from an arena. People almost wanted to boo, but then it was like other people were like, "No, I've seen this dude. Like he been putting in work." So like then I was in the middle of the crowd. By the time I finished, everybody was cheering. So it was like I ended up winning over San Diego, and that was a big special thing to me.
I think that's great. That's yeah, that's great when, especially when you can turn a tide that was so hard in the paint the other way, right? And you're in foreign territory, right? But it's become your home, right? Now it's a place that you can go back to all
Oh
the
yeah,
years since that you're just like, yep, that's main event Matty.
that's my guy. I
I
mean,
was
now we on
there, you
now
know.
it's they're so big. They're on the Channel Five Fox out there all the time, like 3 or 4 times a week, rebroadcasting old shows. So it's like now I'm in front of more eyes. So now it's like more people in San Diego will be like, "Oh, bro, we saw you, or we know that voice." So that's always fun.
Yeah. Do you ever get the I was there when we booed I even booed the hell out of you. But now you're my boy. Here's a drink.
No, I don't think nobody that brave enough to tell me they booed me.
Okay. You don't live long enough to tell the tale.
Yeah,
Or
because
feel the fucking
like
wrath. You would
you
light him
wouldn't.
up.
I would just make fun of you, but like, oh damn, I didn't even know you supported losers like that, bro. But it's all right. I'll still take your drink.
Yeah, shit, man. Yeah. Now, obviously, Matt, like you have done so much, right? But you couldn't have done it without a throng of support behind you. So take as long as you like. Let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Oh, first off, you know, I'm gonna shout out my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because I love me some Jesus. I don't know about everybody else, but that's me. But besides that, like my fam, they always held me down. My sisters, like when I would have to travel to San Diego and I'd be gone, and I was a single father at the time, they would always help take care of my boys, and my parents were always there for me. So like, family was always huge. My boy Wallace, Outside Studios, he was the first person to tell me like, "I see you fighting again," and I was just like, at the time, you're crazy. And then all these years later, he was so right, and it was so amazing, and I'm glad that I did, and he was the first person to call it. So, like, shout out to my boy Eddie Bravo, because being his brown belt, started off just as one of his fighters, then his team captain, then the assistant coach, then he even put me as the head coach of the 10 Planet Fight team. Just meant so much to me. So like Eddie has been always huge in my life. And let's see, people from the yard, Mark Kimura, Joe Schilling, LA Muay Thai with David Huerta, Chris Jumby. Even though like I didn't work with him during my career, he's still a good friend. And all my training partners, D Rod was a great training partner. I was even his coach for a while, but always a great training partner. That's my boy. All my old fighters, too many to name, but you know who you are, my 5-star kids. Just being with them all the time. And just the promotions, Epic for always holding me down and still holding me down, Sparstar and Tony for getting me to get back into fighting, and just always when I'm there, they support me, and like just so much love. You always want to be where you're appreciated, and in two places I know I'm appreciated to the fullest. So it just always fills my heart real good.
I love it. I absolutely love it, and I appreciate you. I mean, you've
And shout out to my boy Adam Woods.
thank you, but no, I mean, there's so many others that would be befitting of the rub. But one thing for you that you've done for me, like at every juncture of my career, much like you say about Epic, you've been the Epic for me, right? Where every phase of my career, or whether it be the videos of Bosun, the two guys one phone with Marcos Bonilla, the free admission stuff, to like whatever, you've been there and always encouraging me. I think
That
I even have a
suit,
yeah,
yeah, that fly suit. I got
that's
you.
yeah, that suit, bro. Like that was almost like a Kanye West chaining day in the Through the Wire, like whatever. And I was just like, I wore it. I think I because my fucking I'm not as fat as I used to be, but my fucking fat ass, the ass side of it. So sorry. I'm gonna get it repaired. And then
Hey
I'm gonna
boy,
put it.
it's your suit.
Yeah, bro. I mean shit, dude. I'm punk rock, so give me
Yeah,
some jeans and fucking look at Robin Black. That
bro.
motherfucker. You could be punk rock and with a lisp and fucking whatever. So I'll be like the
Bink.
I'll be the blacker Robin Black.
Your list is not that hard.
But you said gold dust? Fuck you. I ain't gonna be the gold dust of MMA reporting. Maybe I will. Hey, sir, Ramon.
Bro, he's not here with the.
Never forget. Never
That's
forget.
how you gotta. That's how you gotta end every podcast from now on.
All right, fuck yeah. Okay.
Adam
Challenge
Wood signing
accepted.
out.
You know, everything is fucking content. Speaking of content, and thank you guys for watching us here at According to Woods. And first off, for those who want to know more and find out more about what Main Event Maddie is doing, where can they find you on the socials?
You can always catch me at Main Event Maddie and at D Hustle, because that's my work page. If you're down to get massages, sports massage, you got injuries, I take care of that too, and I come to the house.
Yeah. So follow him. He's a good follow, and again, you get to see somebody who is actively not just pursuing but achieving their dreams in real time. Right. That's what we like here, and that's what I think the world needs more of. Right. Is people achieving. Get caught up in some bullshit and
I,
whatever.
I call myself a dream killer
Yeah, absolutely. Because
because
you're actually doing it.
I achieve it, so it's dead. I
It's
don't have
that.
to dream that anymore. That dream is over. I'm gonna go find a new one.
There you go. See, that's it. And again, speaking of thank yous and dreams and what have you, this is a dream. Me doing this thing, so I love it. And so I would humbly ask you to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on all of the socials and Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Right, Maddie, you're the main event guy, and you're also subscribed to this podcast, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Damn right. So be like Matt, be like me. It's not nepotism if you want yourself to succeed, right? It's self care, self love, right?
You
So go
better
ahead and
want yourself to succeed.
yeah, absolutely. Everybody should want that. So go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. If you don't believe me, you don't believe Maddie, and I don't know why you wouldn't. Well, here's Zeta Zang to help convince you.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe to According to Woods YouTube.